Welcome to the Sports Innovation Podcast, and today I've got a fantastic guest in mind, and she's here. She came to the office, and now she's ready to go. Dr. Liz Wanless is here with me today, and I can't wait to talk to her about what's happening with the future here at IU Indianapolis. Dr. Wanless, good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you come from, what your interests are, what you're doing, what you're planning. Just give us all of it.
Oh my goodness. Where to begin? Well, I grew up in Southern Illinois. This is actually a good place to start. My mom was an IUPUI grad in the first year that it was IUPUI. And so now that it's splitting, she couldn't be happier because as a student, she was so upset. She was an IU student to begin with. She was so upset to be affiliated with Purdue. So this has been a long time in the making for my mom to have IU Indianapolis come to fruition. I went to college at Bates College in Maine, a Division III academic school in the same athletic conference as Williams and Amherst. And the last thing that anyone is expected to do from such a school is go pro in athletics. So, of course, that's what I did. I competed as a professional shot putter for, 6 years, must be 6 years. And in that time, I learned so much about what it means to have a very disciplined work ethic and to really focus on a task and complete the task with excellence. And that just seemed to roll over into my next phase, my professional career. I had trouble figuring out what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure where I saw, my post-track career heading. So I remember one of my coaches suggesting that I think about being a professor. And I thought pretty carefully about it and went to started taking additional classes, and fell in love with taking classes, the same type of task focus that there was in professional shot putting. And I took my first, couple degrees later, I took my first analytics class and fell completely head over heels in love with this field. It's a fantastic field. It's ever evolving. It's growing and changing. And it's so fun to navigate the space. So that combined with my athletic identity makes sense that I landed in sport analytics. So before I arrived at IU Indy, I was at Ohio University, the top-ranked sport management program, teaching sport analytics. And this job came open, and I know we're going to think a lot about the future today. We're going to think about what we expect to happen and how we want to grow and meet that demand. This program, the 4+1 sport analytics degree and the applied data science degree with sport analytics specialization, to me, represents the future of the field. So it was a fantastic opportunity to come and join you. So all of my life's decisions have led me to this moment right now in your
That's awesome.
Your podcast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we brought you from Ohio, and you're in the city, of dreams when it comes to sports. So, you've taken over as the director of the Sports Innovation Institute here at IU Indianapolis. Yeah. What do you see? What do you see for the future for the SII in terms of, we won't get too far into projects. We'll get into that later, but as far as what you want to do with the Institute, what would you like to see happen here at Indy?
That's a great question and an exciting question. I'd like to first think about our past, because that's a big reason why we will be able to execute some of our goals for the Institute. Is when I arrived here, I was immediately struck by how the reputation of the Sports Innovation Institute in Indianapolis, and not only the name recall, people knew who IU Indianapolis. I mean, obviously the turning point from IUPUI into IU
the transition.
Yes.
Yeah.
People knew what the Sport Innovation Institute was all about, and the range from community sport organizations to Indianapolis Sports Corp to professional sports teams in the area. This is a well-known brand. And the brand has such an experiential quality to it. It's just a successful experiential quality to it. So that, knowing that that reputation exists, means we've got an incredible platform from which to work in kind of our, what I would label our phase 2. Phase 1 was Dave Pearson, Jeff Sherman, just having an incredible impact on the community and having a far reach, and the students who were able to come along for that successful journey. Phase 2 is a focus on serving the communities that have typically been served. So making sure that the Innovation Institute meets the demand, the growing demand for student qualifications as they enter the marketplace, meets the demand for faculty to continue to have passion projects and wonderful projects to be engaged with, and the School of Health and Human Sciences, and also the university wanting to be a community integrated entity. So making sure that we serve all of these stakeholders in a way that is really productive and successful. That's first and foremost. And second, I can see a focus on revenue generation, meaning now we've got this incredible platform, how to create monetized opportunities for the stakeholders in which we serve. For example, funding students to work on applied data projects for sport organizations. We've had some success this fall already because of the amazing skill set that the applied data science students are developing through the master's program. So we'll be working with a consultation company for the next 3 years that works for the NCAA and understanding price decay, meaning how prices change by studying the secondary ticket market leading up to big championship events. So we've got these opportunities to link students, the program, and sport organizations, and I see this continuing to evolve around data.
So let's think for a minute. Let's go into the project. So
Okay.
You talked a little bit about one that you've got now. In the past, we've done some things with content analysis. We've done some things with ticketing. We've done some things with just different projects that people were asking us to do, and we took a little bit of money for them and went and did the job and got students involved and got them doing data collection and whatnot. Mm-hmm. What do you see with those projects, right? You're talking more on the data analysis side, and you texted me the other day something specific, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but you sent me something the other day that it sounds like a great vision for what you want to accomplish while you're here. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about what do you see that being with the city of Indianapolis, with the Sport First strategy, the 2050 plan, all of that stuff coming about? Where do you see all of this fitting into that in the general scheme?
Oh my gosh, it's an amazing opportunity. So what Jeff's talking about with the 2050 vision is that Indianapolis Sports Corp created this. I mean, can we call it a gala? It felt like one.
State of Sports event. They do it every year.
Well,
yeah,
right.
The State of Sports event.
It just felt like this kind of epic event populated with so many stakeholders from the sports scene of Indianapolis.
And big timers, like big time.
It really was an event. And so to be there and to leave uninspired, I don't know how anyone could. You know what I mean? It was just an incredible, incredible opportunity to see them present the vision and their passion for it. So the city of Indianapolis is passionate about moving Indianapolis as a global sports leader in a number of areas, education being one of them. And so with the gaps that I see in the sport industry, and those gaps surround the analysis of data and not just kind of using data perfectly laid out in a spreadsheet and then analyzing it, but wrangling very difficult data sets. And the applied data science students in the Luddy School of Informatics are uniquely situated with that skill set to be applied to these gaps for organizations. The other is time constraint. It's not that organizations don't always have the expertise. A lot of times they do, but they don't have the time. So it's an incredible opportunity to partner with an educational institution such as the Sport Innovation Institute to really bring efficiency, to bring some of the goals unrealized and bring that to life. Now, where that factors into global sports leadership is that if we continue this amazingly integrated tradition, that is what the marketplace craves from students, to have that experience. But it's also what the students are really looking for. I just sat in on a recruitment seminar that the Luddy School had put together for the sport analytics specialization, and I had a wonderful time, not only because it was extremely well run by the individuals who were in charge, but also because the students really opened up in these virtual seminars, I think in a different way than they do in person. You know, they're able to type questions in the chat, and they're able to ask virtually, you know, with their cameras off, and their main focus, what these recruits want, is a very integrated experience. How are you affiliating with sports teams? How is this going to help me land a role after I graduate? You know, that's what they're thinking about. And relating funding to all of that would be an incredible opportunity to be able to fund students, fill gaps in the sport industry, serve the stakeholders, and really kind of I throw some gasoline on this fire that's kind of already been initiated by you and Dave.
Yeah, that fire is going to be stoked very, very soon. By the way, so let's go back into analytics for a moment, right? So you've been focused on data analysis and how you're talking about this integrated plan. So you mentioned earlier the future of being in the sport industry there will be an evolution of data analytics, and right now the market doesn't seem to know what it's doing. Not in the technical aspect, but the market doesn't seem to understand what should be or could be available, right? So how do we take what we're doing here and make the market, kind of dictate the market a little bit in Indianapolis as far as data analytics and sport?
Well, so what I think is the future of sport analytics is this movement away from the sheer analysis of data to the wrangling, to the engineering of that data. And that shift has already started to occur, but in kind of strange, fragmented ways. So,
and that's what I meant by the market kind of not knowing what it's doing yet.
Yeah, I'll see a sport analytics role pop up, and then I'll see something like preferred qualifications, API requests, and able to handle large data sets. And I'm like, that's the skill set that is evolving in importance. I think that it's also branching across functional areas. For example, performance analytics is becoming a really neat space. And what I mean by performance analytics is being able to make sense of large data for things like, for equipment like wearable technology. And so when I was at Ohio, I placed a student at the Pacers, helped place a student at the Pacers. And his role at the Pacers is to create sensical visualizations from large biometric data from the Pacers, and his job is a really incredible and very interesting job. It's highly integrated with the players. He's with the players while they're lifting, he's with the players while they're training, and then he's obviously working on the computer and analyzing the data post affiliating with the players. But these are evolving. I think functional areas like performance analytics will continue to evolve and pop up. And noticing these, I think, will be competitive advantage for students, and engaging with these will be competitive advantage, especially for health science students.
Did you know when you took this job that this was going to be what you were going to be focused on? Did you know Indianapolis was doing what it was doing, or was this kind of a shot in the dark sort of thing?
This was very intentional. I saw this. And it ticked all of the boxes for the goals that I wanted to achieve, for the community that I wanted to achieve it in, the faculty I wanted to achieve it with, and the leadership that I felt was inspiring from the interview and beyond. So this I feel like this is something we've talked about before, but I feel as though my
Yes,
best,
and take one of the podcasts.
my best work.
which was my fault, by the way.
I feel
Anybody
like
looking?
we've had this conversation
We have.
before.
This is deja vu all over again.
Anyways, I feel like this is the culmination of all of the experiences that my best work will be here because of these kind of surrounding entities. It's a unicorn role. It's a different role than I'd seen thus far. That informatics, applied data science focus, while still being able to be nimble and lead a center. It's just that's an innovation center that has had the community reputation that it has. It was an incredible opportunity. I saw it and I knew. It felt just like track and field when I was choosing places to be and, where I needed to be for accelerating my career. It just felt like that. It felt like, oh, this is right. So almost 3/4 of a semester in, it's exceeded expectations. What a wonderful thing to be able to say.
Wow.
It's exceeded expectations.
Exceeded expectations is a pretty intense thing to say that it's already exceeded it.
It is, and I haven't even had a chance to think about it. So it just occurred, you know what I'm saying? It just occurs to me like, wow, I've been here for 3 months and it's already exceeded its expectations.
So what about it? What about it has exceeded the expectations? Just, internally, what has made it the place so far? I mean, in your 3 months here.
Well, it's hard to know what to mention first. So all of these.
Well, don't discriminate. Just go into it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to, but all of these treated equally. So first and foremost, the industry affiliation. So what was my first experience here with your class as they presented their analytics projects to NCAA stakeholders? I mean, that was an incredible kind of note, like a signpost. Yes, you're in the right spot. If this is what the program is doing, being a part of Indy Sports Corp preparations, planning, and getting to know the individuals associated with this incredible organization and watching it almost like a journalist, watching the planning for the Final Four 2026 has been also an incredible experience. Fielding phone calls from interested individuals, meeting Luke Basso, the athletic director here. Like, there's just an incredible group of people who are forward-moving, solution-focused, innovation-focused. I mean, it's been an incredible community of sport. And is that Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. I think with everything the way it's going, I think that's the strategy A.
Yeah,
and
it
B, it's just that's what it's been over the years, and I think they've just come to the realization that we need to take this to the next level, and I think they're doing it, and they're doing it very, very, very well.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And so from the academic and faculty side, it's just imagine walking into a building and people are holding the doors open. Like, walk right through, and what do you want to achieve, and how can we help you do it? It's the feel. And
so you got yourself an open world.
It feels very supportive of the Institute, which is definitely attributed to you and Dave, who've really brought it to its successful level. It's to the culture, the leadership is very accessible. Jay Gladden has so much energy, and for now a vice provost.
He's provost.
Provost.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, we've watched him go from dean of this school to the provost.
Yeah, and knowing him now or having affiliated with him now, there would be no surprise in that journey and trajectory. But so much energy. What are you excited about? What do you want to do? And how can we support you? It is absolutely amazing. Okay, so we've got the industry, we've got the faculty and leadership, and then let's talk about the students. So I'm teaching the applied data science sport analytics class. So the students arrive with a passion and an incredible skill set. So we're able to do some really fun things that are only possible with that type of skill set and development. So Leon Todd Johnson, I just met with him this past Friday. He's faculty in the Laddie School of Informatics, and he talked about the type of web apps that students develop in their intro class. And being able to bring that forward with publishable work for students to showcase on their interviews is competitive advantage to be able to do those types of things. And now it's not let's study the metrics used for player side predictions. Let's advance them and let's think about ways to make them better. And I think that is a shift that has been exciting.
So let's go into the personal a little bit. So
Okay.
What has been the best time you've had these 3 months that you've been in Indy? You were in Athens, Ohio, right? You've been all over the place a little bit. You've been in Muncie. You've been done some things with your professional shot put career. And what's been the best thing about your first 90 days in Indy?
That's appropriate for a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know the hard pressing things that Liz Wanless has enjoyed over her first 3 months.
Well, oh my gosh, what was it?
You didn't get to go to Yacht Rock. I know that.
I didn't.
Because it rained.
Oh my gosh. But seeing the dean out, because we had both scheduled, you know the story, right?
Yep.
There's no cooler, more approachable dean than Rafael Bahamonde. And we had discussed earlier that day that our plans were going to be rained out because of hurricane, residual weather. And we're like, well, we don't know what we're going to do. And we both saw each other at the same spot that Friday night, which was
wild.
just so fun. Yeah, but didn't get to see Yacht Rock. From a personal standpoint, why does Oktoberfest and the Wiener Dog races just pop to the front? We brought the family.
I don't know, but I think I want to hear more.
Oh, my gosh. We brought the family. So Pete, my husband, and two boys, Alex and Isaac, we went down and we watched the Wiener Dog races. I was celebrating Pete's birthday, actually.
Nice.
So that was another,
a solid birthday celebration.
There's some spirit around it. And we watched these really cute Wiener Dog races, and everybody being excited and being able to be in the city. I mean, another probably great opportunity was seeing Alex's face when he returned from camp from the Indiana State Museum. And these are things not possible, in a rural campus or a rurally situated campus. So from a personal standpoint, exploring the city, maybe all of this is creating a theme around exploring the city has been pretty amazing. It's been pretty fun.
Well, I like to hear that. The city is pretty welcoming. So
that's awesome.
So now, I guess we could conclude, but what are the things that you want people to know about AU, B, the Institute, and C, the program of sport management at IU Indianapolis?
Oh my gosh, okay. Let's start with A, me, that I relentlessly pursue and support other people's goals as much as I support my own and pursue my own. So I want people to know that I am a champion through and through for people who want to achieve something. Students, faculty, whatever it is. I'm there for it and want to celebrate it. Want to celebrate the wins. So what was the second one?
Oh, you had to ask.
Well, I started to think when you asked that question. I was like, I better come up with a good answer.
Now I'm trying to remember B and C. A was personal.
B has to be the Institute.
B was the what people want to know. What do you want people to know about your vision for the Institute? And then I think C was the program, the sport management program.
Okay, awesome.
Same thing, like the vision for you personally, like who you are, but then the summary of the Institute and what you want people to take from.
Sure.
What do you want people to know more than anything? Because you've already said a lot about it, and about the past, and about the current, and what you want. But what's the vision that you have that people should know?
In short, relentlessly pursuing sport innovation with data. Just going for it. Taking risks and pressing the boundaries. And
then the last one is the sport management program. What do you want to see happen with the sport management program at IU Indianapolis?
What's already been happening? Industry-involved excellence, continuing in this amazing tradition.
This is awesome. This has been great. I'm glad I got to sit down and talk with you. Thank you, Liz, for coming on to the podcast today. And hopefully you'll be hearing more soon on the next episodes as we get them out there. And hopefully you'll be seeing a lot from Liz as well as myself and others within our program through the Institute. You can check us out at our blog, blogs.iu.edu/IUIndySII. Check it out, all of our stuff from the past as well as the present and hopefully coming soon, the future. So thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day.